Hello everybody, it is a beautiful day, cloudy and snowy. Well, we're used to that. First of all, I wanted to thank everybody for all the kind words. There's been so many people wishing us the best here in Russia, welcoming us to Russia, and just giving all sorts of tips and advice as far as staying warm and getting healthy and getting rid of the cough and the cold that we had. So we greatly appreciate that. We do feel a lot better. And a lot of people were concerned about the lack of warm clothing. So we're actually from Canada. People don't know that. We are in Nizhny Novgorod right now, in the city of Nizhny Novgorod. And we're used to this. This is not new for us. We deal with snow every year. Some years more than others, just like here. Some winters are colder than others. But we're very, very used to cold weather and snow. And we do have warm clothes. This is very warm. I am not cold by any means right now. We're extremely warm, and the only thing we were lacking, we left Canada in the summertime, we did not have boots. We're kind of limited by how many things we could take, right? Having 8 children and 2 of us. We have 9 children, but our oldest son is still in Canada. But traveling with 8 children and 2 adults, there was a lot of luggage to take with as it was. And so we just didn't take anything that we didn't absolutely need to take along. We left things behind, and when we left it was summertime, so it would be very silly to take boots along, winter boots along, when it's summertime, right? All of the space that we had was necessary for what we deemed to be the most necessary items. Also, when we left, we traveled to the States first, came back to Canada for a little while, and then traveled to Georgia. Tbilisi, Georgia is very warm. I don't believe we've seen any snow while we were there. Once we left Tbilisi, we went to a different region and there was snow, but in Tbilisi itself, we never saw any snow. So why would we have winter clothes, right? I have this is my winter work coat, extremely warm coat. We brought our toques with. We call them toques, winter hats for you, I guess. We brought those with, and we brought gloves with for the children. But snow pants and boots was what we were lacking. So many of you were quite concerned that we weren't dressed warm. This is how we would dress in Canada. I wouldn't very rarely cover my face unless it's extremely cold or windy. I keep my head warm and I layer up. So I have three shirts plus a sweater on plus a coat. Very warm. And typically I also wear overalls, bibbed overalls that keep me warm. They come up to about here and they keep me very warm. I don't have any of those yet. I'm going to be buying some, but the children are all well dressed now and very warm. So I gotta go this way. A very snowy day. Very, very snowy today. Snow removal is not high on the list here. A lot of this stuff just lays here and people just put up with it, I guess. They will eventually get around to cleaning some of this up, but it's still snowing, as you can see. So anyway, once again, thank you very much for welcoming us. We really appreciate it. The channel has just grown amazingly in the last couple of days. We hope we can carry that on. If you're new here, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and consider supporting our channel. The best way you can do that is just by sharing the videos. That helps us grow and reach more people. Why are we in Nizhny Novgorod? We do not intend to live in the city. We came to this region because the government here offered us immigration quota. And as a foreigner coming from Canada, it is really hard to move to Nizhny, or to move for Russia, period. You need a reason. You need to be invited. You need to have either immigration quota or some other path to residency, temporary residency, and then permanent residency, and then on to citizenship. And so there's multiple ways of doing that. I'm hoping to discuss that on this channel more in the future. The immigration lawyer, Timur, that is helping us, he's based in Moscow, and he knows these ways. So if you are looking at coming here, I would urge you to get in contact with him. I will try to put his details down below here, but you can also just reach out to us, and then I can just privately send you his contacts. He knows the different ways of getting here, and one of the ways is immigration quota. And this is a hard one to get because they don't issue a lot of immigration for it. The Nizhny Novgorod government here offered us this immigration for it, and that is why we ended up here. And we intend to farm here. We don't plan on staying in the city. We plan to move out into the countryside, buy land, or lease land at first, and set up a farm here, help create jobs, and become a part of regular society here in Nizhny Novgorod, and be a productive member of Russian society. That is our hope and our plan, and our children. And so some other questions people had, mostly Westerners: how could you drag your children all the way across the planet? One person even said, how could a godly person do that to their children? Implying that obviously I can't be a godly man if I'm dragging my children all over the place. Another person suggested I'm mentally unstable because I dragged my children all over the place and brought them here to this strange hostile country. So you can ask them themselves, are you guys dragged over here, or did you want to come here?
No, we want to come here.
Yeah? Many times I actually said, you know what, this is too frustrating. It's been such a long, hard journey getting here. It wasn't easy. A lot of hoops we had to jump through. And I suggested, you know what, maybe we'll just stay in Georgia. It would be a lot easier. And what did you guys all tell me?
No.
No. They didn't want to stay in Georgia. Why not? They wanted to come here. This is like home. The snow, the climate, the cold, this is just like where we're from.
Buildings even too.
Eh?
The buildings.
Buildings are similar to home. Yeah. The opportunities they see here. We've studied Russia together. They see the opportunities here. So am I crazy? No, I don't think so. Depends on by whose standards, I guess. Am I a godly man? Yes, I believe God comes first in life, and that is one of the main reasons we came to Russia, is because we no longer saw a clear path forward for our family in Canada. The future looks less and less clear for conservative Christian families. There's more and more pressure for us to conform to these weird new ideologies that are pushed on the people in Canada, in schools and everywhere else. And we wanted a country that has a long-term path towards God. And that's what we see here in Russia. We see a nation that is going towards God. Also, we wanted economic opportunities. And that's also getting harder and harder. The average Canadian is just swamped in debt, just loads and loads and loads of debt. They have to borrow more money every year in order to pay the bills. We were not poor, we're not rich. We had a farm, we were doing well. But for me to help them farm, to be able to buy more farms down the road, would have been very, very, very difficult in Canada. The costs are just too high and the profits too low. And that's another reason why we came to Russia, because in Russia, those opportunities still exist. There's a lot of land here, and the government here wants people to come and farm it, and we're willing to do that. So it's a perfect match. We're very conservative, Christian-minded people. We don't belong to any particular church at all. We are always open to exploring more churches and learning more. I intend to learn more about the Orthodox faith as well while I'm here. And Father Gleason, Joseph Gleason, some of you may have heard of him. He's also from America. He's an Orthodox priest. We have discussed Orthodoxy quite a bit, and I intend to do more of that and travel with him to learn more about icons and the churches and things like that. But we don't actually belong to any particular church, just conservative Christians. And right now we find ourselves in the city of Nizhny, and by springtime we hope to be somewhere in the oblast of Nizhny Novgorod on a piece of land, farming, hopefully with some cows by that point and some tractors, and yeah, just becoming productive members of society here with a long-term goal of staying and building roots here in this country. So that's kind of a nutshell. Anything I missed?
Huh?
Did I miss anything?
I don't know.
Think I covered it all? I think so. All right, got some stuff at the pharmacy here. So another thing we get asked a lot, or told a lot, is about the Google Translate. So I film with my phone, and it's pretty tough to translate things while I'm filming, obviously, because I'm using the phone. But Google Translate definitely works. We can really get far with modern technology, right? We can point our phone at stuff and automatically translate everything into English. And then you get the speaking app as well, where I can talk into it and it'll translate it and speak it back out in Russian to somebody, or vice versa. So that's been a huge, huge, huge help to us. I've had some people surprised on us being out and about and how we can communicate with people. Well, like I said, with modern technology, it's not very hard now. I can't imagine doing this 100 years ago, even 50 years ago. but today it's pretty easy. And everybody here is so far anyway, has been very, very eager to help us. Right, so I was just at the pharmacy trying to figure it out with the pharmacist. I needed vitamin C and vitamin D3 and some iron, and trying to figure that out. I mean, vitamin is vitamin, so that's not too hard, and C is say or something, so you can make sense of it. Iron was a little bit harder, but then a lady came in the store and she was trying to help us and explain it, and she was doing a better job explaining it than the pharmacist lady. So I don't know, it's certain things are universal language and not that hard, and other things, you know, between Google Translate and pointing and stuff like that, you can kind of figure it out. So it works good. So far we're really enjoying ourselves. The first week we were really sick. We're much better now. The videos that you've seen so far were mostly all filmed the first week, and so we sound a lot rougher, a lot more coughing, but now we are I think for the most part better. There's the odd little cough yet going on. The flu quite often can take 7 days or more to clear up, and some of these children got it later, so it seems like we're sick longer, but the first ones that got it are better, and the last ones that got it are just on the tail end and recovering still. So we're back on the street here again. Looks like they got some lights out on these trees. I didn't notice that last time. It's very, very snowy though. It's been snowing now for, well, all night long, I think. And yeah, tomorrow it's going to get a little cooler again. It's much, much nicer out now. It's +2, I believe, today. It's kind of wet and sloppy. Children have been playing out in the snow, and of course their coats get all wet then, right? And mine's probably getting that way too, but I know Ariana's coat was very wet looking before, just from playing in this wet, sloppy snow. So many of you also gave awesome suggestions for shopping in cheaper places. Right now we're limited. We don't know much about public transportation, and it's kind of, yeah, what do you want to say that? Just hard to figure out when you don't know the language. It took us a while in Georgia as well. We will figure it out, and we will try it, but we're not used to it. Okay, where we came from, we never used taxis or buses or subways or trams or none of this stuff. We just jumped in our car and went where we wanted to. So it is a big adjustment for us that most city people probably wouldn't have, because they're used to it and we're not. So right now we're kind of limited to where we shop based on our geographic location and the distance we feel like walking, basically. I was hoping today to walk a lot farther, but it's been snowing and sloppy and kind of rainy all day, so we actually didn't go out, but the temperature was much nicer, so we could have. So we're gonna grab a few things here at the grocery store again, and yeah, probably talk to you some more on the way home. All right, back to walking. We got a few groceries here, back walking here again. Well, this has not been cleaned at all. It's wide enough for my feet, and that's about it. Nobody bothered cleaning it up. So yeah, somebody was stuck there. I had to wait for a minute on the road. Anyway, yeah, our roads are definitely plugged full of snow. They will clean it eventually. Yeah, that's a nice puppy. It's a big dog. So another comment people said that we're going to end up on the front lines of the ongoing hostilities. That's ridiculous, man. Russia is not in the habit of just rounding up people that show up at the border and tossing them in the army. They have a substantial army here, and they have volunteers signing up every day. And no, we are not going to the front lines. They offer it as an immigration option for those who would wish to do so. If you come here and you want to join the army, that is a fast track to citizenship. So 1 year of service with the Russian army would give you citizenship. I'm not going to do that, but it is an option for whoever would want to. And obviously there are people in the world that would want to. One example would be the French Foreign Legion. They attract people from many different nations all around the world that enjoy, fighting and going to war and that kind of an exciting life, I guess, if you can call it that. And that's not unusual. Lots of countries do that. So I don't know if the French Foreign Legion would offer French citizenship with that. The Russians are offering citizenship. And there are a great many people that would like to do that, so as an option. But they're not just grabbing people as they show up at the airport and throwing them in the army. It's not going to happen. And especially not a family man. I came here with 8 children. I have a family to look after, and they appreciate families and understand families. So not going to happen. The other thing is if we're free to do YouTube. Some people were panicking that, we're going to get thrown in jail for videotaping. Not going to happen. Again, they have a constitution here that protects my right to film in public places. I'm not going to get thrown in jail or arrested for videotaping. Now, obviously, same in America, depending on what you videotape. You sneak onto some military base, then yeah, I imagine they'll probably throw you in jail for videotaping what you're not supposed to. But that's not what I'm doing. I'm just wandering around filming the streets, the snow, the trees, the stores, the people, and there's no law against that. We are on our way right now to check out an army surplus store that's just up the road here. See what they have. Looking for a pair of snow pants for myself. I like wearing bib overalls. Keep me nice and toasty warm. Thanks a lot. But I haven't been able to find any. The kind that I like, they're pretty expensive in Canada, and I wasn't going to buy them there. I figured, it's Russia. They'll have lots here, and I'll find some here. I shared them with the Australians, with John Hare, and he's like, I haven't found anything like that here, and let me know if you find it, because he'd like some too. So that's unfortunate. We're gonna look. I'm gonna see what I can find. Obviously it's cold weather here. People should have warm gear as well, but I'm kind of fussy when it comes to that. I do not like having sleeves, and so I keep my chest, my core really warm, and then I can get away with not having sleeves or having to wear anything on my face. I prefer not to have it covered. I find it's much more productive. I'm able to get more work done without all that extra stuff. So, but keeping the core warm, that's the most important part to staying healthy. So we'll see what we can find. And just in the entranceway, see all these cool vehicles.
It's really cool.
It's all little toys, eh?
These are nice thick jackets. Oh no, I guess they're not too bad.
So you can buy these little toys for kids.
Very cool.
And then they got little uniforms, stuff. I'm guessing that's World War II era. Definitely not something that looks like they would wear today. And then all sorts of pins and such. Pins and medals. Let's see what we can find. So it's an army surplus, and they've got like all sorts of stuff. So Russian hats, gloves. Not sure what those are for, but little things. So I'm looking for just some insulated snow pants. But they've got piles of stuff. I never understood these army surplus places. Like just extra old stuff maybe, or out of date, or I have no idea. Lots of uniforms. Sailors. Oh, those gloves? Oh yeah.
You have these for hunting, something like these.
Yep, and I can use it for filming actually, because I can get my fingers in
Mm.
without taking the whole glove off. Not a bad idea. These. That's kind of like what your mom made. Nurse uniforms, tactical gear, very nice backpacks. Even this, what is this for scuba diving? I don't think I need one of those today. Maybe in spring when all the snow melts. Where did our friend go? Ah, he's back here. More stuff. Oh, even boots.
There's lots back here.
Yep. So I just bought a pair of boots coming in the mail. I don't like the kind where the insoles come out.
They're really light though.
They're lightweight.
Like
Yeah.
those Crocs.
But these might be nice even, right? Possibly some good quality. Lots of warm stuff. That's a nice coat. Really warm looking. Lots and lots and lots of stuff. Uniforms and coats. This too, that looks really warm.
This looks a lot warmer.
Huh?
That is thick.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. This one here too. I have to put my coat down or my phone down. Bit short, eh?
It's a nice coat though.
Yeah, it is. People are going to think I'm joining the army. Two. And not steel toe. Think I'll come here for boots later on sometime.
То есть мне красота, лепота это красота. Красота по-русски, по-гречески, нечто вылепленное, созданное, некая скульптура.
So they had lots of stuff there, but nothing, I'm a tall guy, nothing my size. So it's like, where do you get all this stuff? Like you figured the army would need all these uniforms and things themselves. I'm squinting for snow, haven't done that in a while. Anyway, they said, well, this is all stuff, like they picked through it. Everybody get the sizes they need. And this is the surplus stuff, right? So the sizes that they don't need. Surplus, yeah, army surplus. Oh, still, but you figured they'd use it, so. Anyway, obviously, all the other tall pants were already gone too. The army guys would be using them.
Apparently Russian people are tall.
Yes, yeah, I'm definitely not the tallest one around here anymore. I'm still pretty tall, but there's lots of other people. I don't stand out like I did in Georgia. But they did have lots of nice stuff, even in the summertime. I wouldn't mind coming back, and you can get some pretty cheap pants for work and things like that, coats, things like that. But right now I was just interested in a pair of bibbed overalls, and they didn't have anything quite my size. That's all right. Price-wise, very affordable in there though. I know the bib overalls, when I buy them back home, I seem to hardly get a year out of them now, and they cost me 200 Canadian. So here they would have been like let's see here, it was 60-70 bucks, something like that. So it's definitely a lot cheaper. Now we're just walking down the road here now. Gonna get a few little groceries yet. And what we really would like is to find a sled we can pull for the children. You can put the children in and not have to carry them all the way down the road. Obviously we have a stroller, but the streets aren't always clean. Although somebody cleaned it since we were in the store, by the looks of it.
Yeah, it looks like it.
So right now we could push a stroller down here, but sometimes it is a little bit tough. And a little sled wouldn't be the end of the world. And then we'd become more mobile. We are officially in the market for a vehicle, trying to decide what to buy. Part of us kind of wants to buy something that's locally made, especially with sanctions and stuff. It'd be easier to get parts than to buy like a Ford or a Mercedes or a Volkswagen or something that's made elsewhere. Might be harder to get parts for repair than a locally made vehicle. Although some of the locals have kind of cautioned us not to buy the locally made stuff because they don't think they're of very great quality. It's interesting. They prefer to buy imported vehicles. So I don't know, we'll see. I thought it also kind of makes a statement. We moved to Russia and we'll buy Russian vehicles to support the local economy rather than overseas. I really encourage every country to do that. If you're in Canada, you should try to buy things that are made in Canada as much as possible, right? And same goes for every other country. Hey, gotta put my phone away.
Hey, darling, can I tell you what's been on my mind? Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey, darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now. Pack our bags and get in that car, leave a little note and we'll drive real far. Let's get out, we can leave this city, let's drive to the open air. Yeah, the countryside is so pretty.